What's good, everybody? It's Bro Humza, and today, guys, I'm coming to you with a brand new video. But before we get into that, guys, please go and leave a like on this video. Let's set the like goal to a massive 2 likes. We've been crushing it, so let's keep it up. And of course, subscribe if you have not already, because we will be doing a giveaway at 7,000 subscribers. And finally, check out all the links down below where you guys can stay up to date and follow me on all of my socials. But without further ado, guys, let's get right into this video. Alright, guys, so starting off with the video, this time I'm going to be showing the combos first before I start the deck file, just to show you guys how powerful this combo is and how consistent it is as well. So again, it's like the generic Infernoble hand where it's like okay, Renaud, or any way of getting to these guys. Alternatively, there is like a connector Renaud play as well that you can do it, but you guys will see why you need kind of these monsters in particular. But starting off with the combo, of course, we go ahead and proceed to normal summon Ogier. Ogier's effect will go ahead and trigger to dump a Noble Arms or Fire Warrior monster. We dump Gearfried, of course. So you guys will see as we're laddering into this combo, we're setting up negates and we're being able to play through hand traps. So here we go Renaud, go ahead and add back Gearfried. So this is essentially, usually when you do this line, you're playing around Nibiru. So not only are we playing around Nibiru, we're still setting up our FTK board, or quote unquote FTK. From here we go into High Lonslin. High Lonslin's effect will go ahead and equip directly from deck. And now decks can play High Lonslin because there's no longer like the whole Kashtira effect where like you're afraid that Unicorn's gonna rip your Charles. You have more extra deck space to play High Lonslin. But we go High Lonslin, whatever this guy's name is. He goes ahead and equips Durandal directly from deck. Then we go ahead and fire off Durandal. Durandal will go ahead and grab us our Turpin. And then note that this is only our 3rd summon. So now our 4th summon is going to go ahead and proceed to go Gearfried. So this is number 4. Banish Durandal and then equip Ogier. And because we equip, or because we control a monster with an equip card, we can summon out Turpin. And then Turpin and High Lonslin will go ahead and go off into Isolde. Isolde, of course, add the Fire Warrior monster. So I add Astolfo here. Or Alfonso. That one guy commented Alfonso is pretty funny. But go ahead and get Astolfo. And then from here we can go ahead and use Isolde. Isolde will go ahead and mill 1. And remember, like I always said in my combos, if you have access to a level 4 in the graveyard already, or level 4 fire, you just go ahead and dump 1 and get Richardetto. Then Richardetto will go ahead and trigger to go ahead and reborn Turpin. And then from here, like I said before, guys, these combos are very standard, very simple. You go into Angelica. Angelica triggers to go ahead and add you your Arms Museum. And then from here, what we can do is we can go ahead and trigger Divine Sword, go ahead and banish 2 to add back our Phoenix Blade. And then from here, we can go ahead and activate Phoenix Blade onto the Angelica. Angelica's effect will trigger to run away. Angelica will dump Oliver. In this combo particular, usually I say it doesn't matter. In this combo particular, it's very important to go ahead and dump Oliver, as you guys will see. From here, we go ahead and summon out our Roland, and then Roland is on the board, so we can go ahead and activate Museum. Museum, go ahead and grab us our Almace, I believe. Yep, we grab our Almace. And then from here, we can go ahead and use our monster in the graveyard, so Turpin, equip it, and then use Museum to summon out Turpin. And again, you have to use the first to use the second. Then we synchro away into our Charles. You don't have to equip Almace onto Roland when you synchro off. I don't really like to do that. I like to just kind of keep yeah, I just kind of like to keep Almace there. But you guys will see here, like some people, they like to use Roland, some people like to use Divine Sword, but it's important to get Almace into the graveyard like right now. This is the last step of the puzzle. Here we go ahead and we link away into our Charles the Great, and then this will go chain link 1 Charles the Great to target synchro. You always have to remember that effect. It's like Long Yuan, like please don't forget that effect or you're screwed. So it goes ahead and does that, and then Almace, go ahead and add back Oliver. You guys will see why we did that very shortly. But from here, it goes ahead, gets the synchro monster on the dude, and then we go ahead and use Oliver effect to go ahead and dump Alfonso, Astolfo, and then summon Oliver. Now Oliver is a level 1 tuner guy, and Gearfried is a level 9 non-tuner guy. So that basically means we can go to synchro a 9 plus a 1. If you add it up, it equals 11. No, it equals 10. And this goes into our Baron de Fleur. Now this is the final piece of the puzzle. I lied. That other one was the second piece. This is the final piece of the puzzle. Now you guys will see why in just shortly. But of course, right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use Oliver effect onto our Emperor Charles the Great. Technically, you can actually do it on Baron, but you'd rather them actually imperm, just so you can play around things. But you guys will see what I mean later on. But from here, we go ahead and we equip, and then we proceed into the end phase, I believe. Yeah, make sure you bring back Angelica. I think I forgot to bring back Angelica in this combo here. But just make sure you remember to bring back Angelica. But during the end phase, Charles will have to equip an equip spell from the graveyard. So it's important to keep either Almace or Phoenix Blade into the graveyard. And the reason why we do this is because now we can equip a monster from our deck called Brushfire Knight. Now, if you see this guy, he looks like Armageddon Knight, he looks like Dawn Knight, but he's the fire version of them all. But not really, because he doesn't actually have like a good effect on field. His other effect is the reason I use him. He says, when this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, send 1 fire monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can only use 1 effect and only once that turn. I don't even know why that clause on, because like I don't know what deck is going to be using both effects. But basically what we do is we go ahead and equip, and then Charles's effect will trigger on a separate chain, and then this will be when a monster is equipped, blah blah blah, pop a card non-targeting. So Charles will go ahead and trigger here to pop our Brushfire Knight, and then Fire Armageddon Knight effect will go ahead and trigger, and he says when he's destroyed by card effect, send one fire monster from your deck to the graveyard. This card will go ahead and trigger, and he will dump Bear Statue of the Inferno. I thought his name was like Infernal Flames or something. He will dump Bear Statue of the Inferno, and then you guys can already see what we're going to do. It's very similar to like the whole Virtual World Scythe lock, where we get really degenerate here. So from here, we go into our draw phase. In our opponent's standby phase, we go ahead and fire off Baron. Baron actually has another ability that not a lot of people know, but some people might know. Once per turn, during the standby phase, you can target one level 9 or lower monster in your graveyard, return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon this card. The reason why I said don't equip Oliver onto Baron is because you actually want your opponent to imperm the Baron so you can negate it. If they can't imperm the Baron, they're just going to wave Baron tag out and hit the statue, so it's a little annoying in that regard. So yeah, it's pretty good. But from here, Baron will go ahead and target the statue, tag out Baron, go ahead and reborn my boy the statue, Bear Statue of the Inferno. He's the most ripped one for sure, so he's better. So we go ahead and summon up Bear Statue of the Inferno, and then basically from here, we still have, so this again, like a 2-card combo, so depending on what your hand is, you have a lot more. But basically, not only do we have a spell and trap negate to prevent them from dealing with this card, when our opponent normal summons a monster to try and enter battle phase, we can still use Roland's effect to equip onto our Charles the Great, and then this will go ahead and trigger to go ahead and pop any card on the field non-targeting. So it's still like blanket protection on top of everything else as well. And if you want to get saucier, you can equip Metal Silver Armor from your graveyard instead if you have like a nicer line, because that just makes it so that your opponent cannot target the statue at all, and you basically FTK them no matter what. But that's it for the first combo, guys. Now I have a quick test hand just to show you the overall consistency of this deck. All right, guys, so now we are getting into the test hand. So I did a quick test hand. If you don't believe me, I'm going to go ahead and refresh Dueling Book right now. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh Dueling Book. Hopefully it doesn't screw up anything. So from here, we go ahead and refresh, and you guys can see we draw my 5, and I'm able to play. So technically, we have Richardetto and we have Phoenix Blade, which are 2 technical bricks in our hand. But again, our deck's super consistent. We have Heritage, we have Oge, so we already have combo. We have Imperm, non-engine. We have Richardetto, who's actually just juicy to have in your hand. And we have Phoenix Blade. And I can show you the super unique saucy play. But from here, we go ahead and of course we start off our play. So usually what I like to do is I like to do the order of operations to kind of like play around as many hand traps as possible. Because this is a test hand, it doesn't really matter. But again, normal summon Oge effect, go ahead and dump Gearfried, activate Heritage, go ahead and activate to get Renaud. So I'm here, I'm sure you guys are familiar with my combo. If you were paying attention, we're literally going to do the exact same combo, and the reason why we can is because we have not used Durandal yet. If you guys haven't used Durandal, or if you guys of course have already used Durandal, going into High Lonsland isn't that valuable, because like where you can get Joyas, like you're not really going to use any of those cards anyways. So going to High Lonsland is good. As long as you have this specific combination in your graveyard, you'll be perfectly gravy. But from here, we go ahead and get Turpin, and then Turpin again, we go ahead and summon out Gearfried again. 4th summon, so we're playing around Nibiru, we're playing around all sorts of shenanigans our opponent can have, and Nibiru might just rise in format, I think. It's good against Unchained, it's bad against Purely, it's bad against Flu. I don't really know, but we'll see. But again, link our monster's way into Isolde. Isolde's effect will go ahead and trigger to go ahead and add a card. So we add Malgus for this instance. Like I'm showing you guys, it does not matter. Something funny here is because we open Divine Sword, it doesn't really matter what we mill. I like to mill DDR as like the extender piece, but if you wanted to play Metal Silver Armor, you could just mill Metal Silver Armor instead. We really only need DDR for its like first effect on Angelica. If you have other names, you can just use that, and then use Metal Silver Armor to have a more quote-unquote FTK board. From here, we go ahead and dump 1. There's something that Fire Flint Lady. Now, like I was saying before, Fire Flint Lady has the super juicy hidden ability superpower where you can tribute it and then summon a dude from your hand that can't get impermed. So, I mean, they probably would have impermed us like at some other point, not really on the Richardetto, but it's fine. Richardetto will go ahead and reborn. This will go ahead and summon out our Turpin. Then from here, we can go ahead and synchro away into Angelica. And like I said before, all the rest of the combos are just bread and butter. Once you know how to get to Angelica, you basically FTK. So we go Angelica, run away, dump Oliver, Museum, get Almace. From here, we can go ahead and use Turpin, equip, Museum, summon out the Turpin. I was thinking if I could do more, then we go Almace over there. So Chainlink 1 and Chainlink 2. Again, it's important to not use Charles's effect because we need the pop to get the Brushfire Knight. From here, we go Oliver, discard, summon, go away, link away into our Baron or Synchro, and then go ahead and equip. During the end phase, see, I brought back Angelica, and again, like I said before, it is absolutely pivotal. You like that word? Pivotal that we have our extra deck or an equip spell in the graveyard. The reason for that is because this guy literally reads blah blah blah. You can equip 1 equip spell from your hand or graveyard to this card, then you can equip 1 Fire Warrior. So you have to do whatever, you know, English majors and whatever. So you have to do one to do the other. So we go ahead and equip the Almace onto the dude, and then this will allow us to go ahead and equip the Brushfire Knight right here. Then of course end phase, go ahead and pop brush fire, and then trigger brush fire, go ahead and dump statue, and then here we proceed into the standby phase. We run away, we tag into brush fire knight. You can set the imperm. I don't know why I didn't set the imperm. I think I was just so gassed over this combo and how juicy it is. But then again, we can go ahead and equip, go ahead and pop a card. All right guys, so I'm sure you guys are back from the 2 combos. So we had the combo and we had the test stand. Now I'm gonna quickly get into the deck profile. Not much changes from like the regular competitive deck profile onto this deck profile, just because this deck is super consistent. The only thing I would suggest is maybe you can play the super heavy samurais just for more consistency, because then you have more cards, so you have like less of a chance to draw like your bricks. But again, from there it doesn't really matter. This is the list that I would play personally. So again, we're playing triple Ash Blossom, we're playing 1 Fireflint Lady, 1 Gearfried, we're playing triple Renaud, 1 Malgus, triple Ogier, 1 Oliver, 1 Richard Edo, and 1 Turpin. So that's it for like the monsters. And then of course we played triple Connector and 1 Dolphin, because like why would I not just play these cards and just be able to OTK? Another unique thing about this is like you want to be able to keep these cards in the graveyard as much as possible, or like off your field. But if you open barrier statue, you can still Dolphin just pitch the barrier statue and just end up having it in the graveyard to automatically reborn off our opponent anyway. So there are ways to deal with it, but again, that's for the monsters guys. It's 21. Like I said before, it's very standard, very similar to like a generic Infernoble deck anyways. Then play the 1 Almace, triple Durandal, 1 Joyous, 1 DDR. Like I said before, this can be metal silver armor depending on the end board you're trying to go for. If you're trying to go for like the Oliver metal silver armor, like you can't target me, just like leave me alone, then you do the metal silver armor. If you want more consistency, kind of a nicer end board, you play DDR because you can play through more. And of course the 1 Divine Sword, followed by the triple Heritage of the Chalice, 1 Noble Arms Museum, or triple Noble Arms Museum. That'd be crazy if you played 1. 1 Rhoda, double Talents, and then triple Imperm. Again, the tech cards can be different. Like you can cut Talents completely, you can play other cards. I just think that Talents is a really good card when you play a combo deck. Like why not? You can definitely side this card and play something else, maybe like Book of Moons, maybe more like reactive or like protective hand traps, I guess, like Nibiru or something. But again, and then like except for the side deck and the other options, you can play our metal silver if you want to go for the FTK board. And then moving on to the extra deck, we play double Angelica, 1 Hydlonton. Like I said before, you have space for it, so play it. 1 Roland, he's really important because he lets you pop cards like Masterpiece. We have the 1 Infernoble Emperor Knight Charles the Synchro. You don't need to play more because you're not getting ripped anymore. We have the 1 Baron de Fleur. We have the 1 Dempsey. Dempsey is a really good card, honestly. Appaloosa, because if you open Connector plus like anything else, you just end on Appaloosa. Double Emperor Charles the Great, 1 Ferocious Flame Swordsman. I wish this guy said all fire monsters. You can technically play Duel Chimera, I guess, but you're always locked like through Richard Dedo or something, so there's no reason for that. Parlor Ogre, because he's just the boss monster. The 1 Rattan, and the double Isolde, 2 Tails of the Noble Knights. But that was it for the deck file, guys. Let me know what you guys would change or innovate about this combo, and if you guys have other combos of doing more like floodgate type of monsters or things of that nature, just let me know. I'd be glad to showcase them to you guys as well. Check out the Discord down below, shoot me a message on Discord, shoot me a message on Instagram as well, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day. All right guys, so that was the end of the video. If you guys liked the video, please go and leave a like on this video, and of course subscribe if you made it to the end of the video and you are not yet subscribed, because at this point you're just wasting mine and your own time. But my name's Hamza, like I would say, guys, keep on shining, never on your dreams. Peace.